Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we have here a paint palette that I got from Dollar General. It's made for a bunch of stuff. It has a little thumb hole here, little paintbrush holders, and a bunch of paint pocket thingies. Here's me trying to put a paintbrush in it. Works. So yes, I'm going to be using some Squeezable watercolors. So I had these watercolor paints that I found in the trash a while ago, and okay, there is a bunch of art supplies in the trash and they were perfectly good, so I picked them up. They wasn't in the trash. I didn't go dumpster diving, but they were next to the trash. So here's me using them like 5 years later. And as you can see, they really are trash. Well, now they are. They used to not be, but things get old, and I think they were cheap to begin with anyway. So yeah, they just have watercolor on them, and so this is me trying to squeeze the life out of them. And then one of them smelled like, I don't even know, some like terrible fish or something. That was a no-go. So I bought these new ones. Got them from Ross, and they're Wonder and Wise. So yeah, they have a little 13 color watercolor set. Comes with a little color wheel. Isn't that neat? To tell you how to mix up your colors and stuff. Very nice. But really hard to get around those. Kind of I don't know. I mean, I guess if you want to keep it on that one color, but yeah. So here's the tubes. They're nice and fat. I also have my desk up because it's a drafting desk, so that's why everything is sliding down. But yeah, it comes with a little brush. It's a decent brush. I didn't use it though, of course. I never use them, but it's a nice brush. And yeah, so we're gonna get our things together because, put them in this thingy here. So that's what we're gonna do here. We're gonna put them all in there. They were nice and juicy. Now I have a way that I do these paints each time. I usually put the cooler tones on one side and the neutrals on one side, and then the more warm tones in the middle. Well, I guess I don't usually do it. When I paint with with oil, I do. With watercolor, I just have it however the watercolor thing is set, because I'm not gonna switch them out. It's crazy. But yeah, these paints, they were all right. I like that green though. It's a nice green. They were pigmented, but they were I feel like they were dry. Like some overcooked chicken or something. They were kind of just dry. And they didn't blend very well either. I mean, they are cheap. They were like $3.99 at Ross. But here is how the colors look together, like coming out of their tubes. They're a little off, especially the blue. Like, check this out. That blue right there, it looks lighter in the tube. But anyway, it looks alright when you put it on paper. So here, I decided to draw this girl from Pinterest. She's making a mad face. And so, to work on like my expressions and things, I wanted to do this face. So yeah, got the pencil down, and now it's time to go in with the color. course, I need to do that green. There's a lot of green in this picture. So I want to see how good I can make the green, how dark I can make it. And actually the color wheel helped a bit with me making the green darker, because without that, it kind of seems like, what the heck, because the green is so light. I have to mix it in with a little bit of burnt sienna and brown, and if you can make it cooler and lighter too, so that's good. So like the mixing of the colors off the main color mixture is good, but if on paper the mixing of the colors is not good, if that makes any sense. Now usually I don't use squeezable watercolors because I prefer them dry, just so you can activate it with water, and then it can be more I can grab as much as I want, or I could take off as much as I want. But with these squeezable ones, the liquidy watercolors, I wanted to do it like oil, but it's not oil, it's watercolor. So it could have just been my user error of why I didn't really care for these watercolors like that, because obviously I'm not used to this kind of watercolor. But it was very pigmented. You can get the pigment as much as you need to, because you can grab as much as you want, but it's also, it's like it dries very fast. And as a person who works in oil and then dry watercolor, it's not the same. Now of course I can let these dry and then use them later, which I'll have to try that, because the main thing with watercolors is you can reactivate them with water and use them like that. But I'll have to try a part 2 to it. For now, this is what I started to do. The skin tones came out nicely, I think. Making them dark was a bit challenging because I didn't want to use the black flat out. I wanted to do a little, darker with the reds and the browns, and obviously the black was kind of really overpowering, so I didn't want to just go in with black and then ruin the whole face. So of course we worked light to the dark, and the dark was enough that you can see it, but I don't really think I went too dark with the shadows, because of course I didn't want to use black, so I think I left it a bit light. And then for a while this painting was looking kind of crazy until I finished it. And so we are in the ugly stage. Yes, that's right, the ugly stage is upon us. So I was nervous that it wouldn't even look mad like the picture, because something was off about my drawing. Usually it's the drawing, and when something's off, it's usually the underdrawing, and then you can kind of fix it with the paint as you go. But for this one, I really think this was just the ugly stage, in which it doesn't look like the painting or the drawing at all. And so sometimes you get that middle ground of like, this looks weird. Is it my drawing, or is it just because it's the ugly stage? This is where you either trust the process, either fix it or keep going until it's not ugly anymore. So yes, I went in with the black. In the black, I was hoping that it would tie everything in so that it wouldn't look so weird, and I think it went all right. Obviously the leaves in the hair I tried to keep keep them looking like leaves, because it looked like I don't know what it looked like at first. It just looked kind of weird. So at this point, I'm just adding the darks so that to see if it'll look even better when I add some contrast to the actual drawing, because it still was looking weird. So I've added more black to the hair because her hair is black, to see if that'll make it pop more, and I think it worked a bit. And at the point, I added a little red to the lips, and I started to make it look more like the drawing or the picture. And then I had to fix the neck. As you can see on the phone, it's kind of high contrast on the chest area, but I didn't want to bring too much attention to that part anyway. And so I added some little hair frillies and some darks to the face, the shadows. I added more shadows, and I did the lips, and it started looking even more like the picture. And so that's when I just realized that, we just have to keep working on it, because it's not the drawing. It's, we're just not done yet. Then I added in the eyes. That's the part that tied it in together. The eyes, as they say, the windows to the soul. The eyes made it look way more like it was supposed to look. Of course, a lot of expression is in eyes, and so when you don't add, when you don't have eyes showing, you can't really emote that good, unless you're Mr. Noodle from Elmo's World. But even that, you can see his eyes and his eyebrows kind of, emoting. Teaching kids, emotions at whatever age they do that at, when they watch Elmo's World. Or like the magic carpet, that doesn't have any eyes or anything, but it still has body language, and that's a different expression, which you can learn that too. But for a portrait, a face, when you don't have a body showing, the eyes are not the most important thing, but it's pretty important. I mean, the rest of the face has to look like something, has to match. Actually, it doesn't have to match, but the eyes can, because the eyes can do it something separately. So the face could be totally stone face, but if the eyes are worried, the eyes and the eyebrows, if they're worried, then you're not going to think that face is very stoned anymore. I mean stone face like as in a straight face, poker face, not as a person who got high. But anyway, so the eyes tied it in together. I made them darker, and it even made it look even better. I darkened up the shadows on the face, and that made it feel a bit more alive, and there was more contrast, and that it was more more depth to it. And then I made the leaves look more like leaves, because they were just looking crazy. They were looking like, I don't know, confetti or something. So I had to make the leaves look more like leaves. And then later on, I kind of multimediated it a bit. I didn't only rely on the watercolors. I know that's kind of cheating. Yeah, I know. But I went in with some pen, some, what do you call this thing? A fine liner. There we go. And then I went in with some Posca, because I just been loving the Posca ever since I got them. But yeah, here is the final piece basically. I went over with my kneaded eraser, because it was much needed, of course. And then I got my good old stampy stamp. Got to do the stamp at the end, or else, well, how would you know it's authentic? Authentically Greg. Got my brayer here. Yeah, a little fumble. We're good though. A little fumble, but we got it. And of course, it's light as ever, because my stupid pad is lame, but you know, here is the final piece. Yeah.
In my solitude.
Oh, the last piece. Yes, that's an anime arc. But anyway, I hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you guys next time. Please make sure to like and subscribe and follow me and all that stuff. Support